Dad, sit down. You need to accept a new reality. You're not in charge of this family anymore. Uncle Logan is more like a father to us now." Those words, spoken by my eldest son Ethan, in my own living room, were the opening salvo of an ambush I never saw coming. My wife Isabella, my own mother, my sons, and Logan, my supposed best friend, all sitting there, their faces a mixture of grim resolve and something else. Anticipation. They thought they had won. They had no idea the war had just begun. This story is about a betrayal so profound it demanded a response just as total. Stick around to hear how their planned coup spectacularly imploded, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss these insane Reddit confessions. I walked in that evening, exhausted from a long day in court, expecting nothing more than a quiet dinner. Instead, I was greeted by an eerie silence, one that didn't belong in my home. My mother, Isabella, Ethan, and Jacob, and Logan all sat on the couch, an unnatural tableau. Their eyes avoided mine. The room felt off, pregnant with unspoken words. "What's wrong?" I asked, my voice steady, though a ripple of unease was already snaking down my spine. No one spoke. Then Ethan cleared his throat and delivered his devastating lines. "Uncle Logan is more like a father to us now." The words sliced through me. "Excuse me?" My voice was calm, too calm for the fire that suddenly roared in my chest. Ethan wouldn't meet my gaze. I wasn't focused on him anymore. I was focused on Isabella. She sat there, hands folded, expression unreadable. Not shocked, not apologetic, neutral. She knew. My mother shifted slightly, complicit. Logan, the man I called brother, didn't flinch. He looked comfortable, like he belonged in my seat. The realization struck like a hammer. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. I stared at my sons, hoping for a flicker of regret. Ethan resolute. Jacob, my younger, silent but unyielding. I took a slow, deliberate breath. "Logan is more like a father to you," I repeated, my voice disturbingly even. Ethan nodded. "Yeah." I didn't look at Logan yet. Not ready. Instead, back to Isabella. "Isabella?" My voice sharp now, lethal. "Anything to add?" Her composure cracked. Victory number 1. "I think it's best if we all—" she began. I held up a hand. No generic statements. "When did my role expire, Isabella? Gradually, or in a single night in my bed?" Her lips parted. No words. Victory number 2. She'd expected an explosion or a breakdown. I was calculating. Cold. Finally, Logan. The man I'd trusted with everything. He sat there, waiting for me to acknowledge his win, waiting for me to lose control. I smiled. A small, slow, unsettling smile. The kind that made opposing lawyers nervous. His confidence faltered. Victory number 3. I exhaled, straightening my cuffs. "You have something to say?" Logan finally spoke, voice smooth, cocky. I paused, tilted my head. Then I chuckled. A low, knowing chuckle. Victory number 4. Without another word, I walked out. I closed the door, listened. Relieved exhalations. They thought I was gone. That was my confirmation. They expected a confrontation. They didn't understand. I walked down the hall past framed family photos, lies frozen in time. The betrayal wasn't what stunned me most. It was how normal they made it seem. They'd moved on without me, in my own house. I entered my study, shut the door with that same eerie calm, sat in my chair, exhaled. The rage was there, begging for destruction. I could destroy that living room, drag Logan out by his throat. But violence is short-lived. Revenge should be permanent. For that I needed patience. The pieces fell into place. My mother's influence, her choice of Isabella for me, the proper woman who built a life with me until she decided it wasn't enough. And Logan? Why him? It hadn't been a singular betrayal. It had been a transition, a slow replacement, a planned coup. Their mistakes. They thought my silence meant acceptance, that I was too old, too invested to fight. Truth was, I was already gone, emotionally, mentally, detached. And once a man stops caring, he becomes dangerous. That was their first mistake. Their second? Assuming I had nothing left to lose, they thought they'd taken everything. They forgot I was a lawyer. Power isn't emotion. It's leverage. And I had leverage they couldn't imagine. The plan formed. My phone. First, my financial advisor. Mr. Carter, my voice steady. Effective immediately, all funds in our joint accounts frozen. Sir, are you sure? That includes your wife's access? I know exactly what it includes. Understood. Click. First move, then my lawyer. Mr. Davies, voice smoother now. Expedited divorce filing, non-negotiable. A pause. A sigh. Alexander, now? Now? Paperwork ready by morning. Second move. Finally, an old friend. Someone who owed me favors. Someone who specialized in ruining people. And with that, the wheels began turning. I sat back, staring at the ceiling. They thought they'd won. They were wrong. The next morning, the storm hit. Not with thunder, but with silence. It started when Isabella went to make her usual online transfer. Transaction declined. She frowned, refreshed. Same message. Tried her phone, switching accounts. Declined. Declined. Isabella wasn't stupid. She knew. She grabbed her coat, drove to the bank in the Mercedes I bought her. Reality slapped her in the face. The frozen accounts, Mrs. Kane, the bank manager said, shifting uncomfortably. Yes, Isabella snapped. What's the issue? My account says security hold. I need it removed. I'm afraid that won't be possible. And why not? Because your husband issued a freeze on all joint accounts. His lawyer provided the necessary documents. Legally, we cannot grant you access without his authorization. Isabella's breath hitched. That's ridiculous. I have access to these accounts. I have for years. Yes, ma'am. The manager nodded politely. And now you don't. A slow horror crept into her eyes. I had cut her off. Completely. She thought I would break. Instead, I starved them. By the time Isabella left the bank, hands shaking, calling Logan, he had his own problems. While she panicked over the bank, I had moved to phase 2. As she stormed into her bank branch, I was shutting down every single line of credit she had access to. By the time she tried her platinum card at a cafe, it was declined. Tried another. Declined. The emergency one in her purse. Declined. Fear truly set in. Logan's business crumbled. He was stepping into his own personal nightmare. See, Logan built his business largely because of me. Not because he was smart or a financial genius. No. Because I pulled strings, got him clients, access to the right people, investors, markets. And now I was pulling the rug out. One by one, his major investors started backing out. The construction firm that funneled work through him, all future contracts canceled. His biggest supplier? Regret to inform you. Terminating our partnership effective immediately. Logan didn't know it yet, but his business had hours to live. By lunchtime, 2 more investors walked. By dinner, cash flow suffocating. By the time he checked his own accounts, they were in the red. I hadn't just cut him off from my life, I had cut off his survival. The house of cards collapsed. While Isabella and Logan were separately falling apart, Ethan and Jacob were about to have their own rude awakening. They'd never appreciated the life I provided. Ivy League tuition, luxury cars, all me. Yet they'd turned on me, called Logan their father. So I gave them what they wanted, life without me. First to go, tuition payments. Ethan, mid-masters, got the notice. Tuition bill past due, 7 days or enrollment suspended. Jacob, carefree lifestyle, found his monthly allowance gone. No warning, just gone. They called their banks. Same cold answer as their mother. Your father has revoked all access. You no longer have authorization. Panic. By evening, the phone calls began. Isabella, my sons, Logan, even my mother, the woman who orchestrated half this betrayal. I didn't answer a single one. Not yet. Not until they felt the loss. Not until they understood with absolute certainty the man they dismissed, replaced, was the only reason they had anything. By nightfall, I imagined them all in that same living room. Only this time, the air was different. This time, they weren't in control. They were drowning, and I was watching them sink. Logan sat in his office, sipping overpriced coffee, blissfully unaware his world was collapsing. For years, he built his business on my connections. I had helped him, built him, because he was my best friend. Now, I was going to unmake him. The first blow, vanishing investors. An email, contract termination. Logan skimmed it. From one of his biggest investors. He called immediately. "Hey, Mr. Miller, just saw the email. What's going on?" A long pause. Then Mr. Miller sighed. "Logan, I'm sorry, man. We can't be involved with you anymore." "What? Why? What's changed?" Another silence and then, "Alexander, everything went cold." "What about him?" Logan forced out. Mr. Miller hesitated, lowered his voice. "Look, Logan, I don't know what happened between you two, but he's making it clear doing business with you is a bad move." Logan shot up, coffee spilling. "This is ridiculous. Alexander wouldn't." "He's a powerful man, Logan, respected. If I had to choose between him or you..." Another pause. "I'd pick him every time." Click. Line dead. The dominoes fell. Logan stood frozen. Phone rang again. Another investor, same message. Then another and another. By noon, 4 major clients pulled out. By 3 p.m., suppliers refused his calls. By 5 p.m., his entire business was gasping. Then the final, fatal blow. The license revoked. His secretary walked in pale. "Sir, we just got a notice from the licensing board." He looked up, stomach twisting. Picked up the document. Effective immediately. The following business licenses have been revoked due to legal concerns regarding conflicts of interest and ethical violations. The rest blurred. His business was dead. Officially. Irrevocably. Logan sank back, breathing shallow. This wasn't bad luck. This was a precision strike. Alexander. His old friend. The man he stabbed in the back. Now Logan learned the hard way. Alexander didn't just get even. He made sure you never got back up. The desperate call. By the time Logan gathered his thoughts, 69 missed calls. Half Isabella, half panicked investors, employees, clients. Alexander hadn't answered once. Logan gritted his teeth, dialed again. Voicemail. "You've reached Alexander Kane. I'm unavailable. Leave a message." Beep. Logan exhaled sharply. "Alexander," voice strained. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop." Silence. Swallowed hard. "I know we need to talk. Just call me back, okay? This has gone far enough." Click. Message ignored. Logan stared at his phone, heart pounding. For the first time, afraid. Alexander wasn't just mad, he was erasing Logan from existence. And Logan could do nothing. The house was quiet that evening. Too quiet. Isabella sat in the living room, gripping her phone, knuckles white. The lamp cast a dim, flickering glow on her worried face. She'd called Alexander again and again. No answer. Tried Logan. Same voicemail. Ethan sat stiffly on the couch, staring at his laptop, screen frozen on a notification from his university. Jacob paced, never still when things weren't his way. And right now, nothing was. Isabella knew it. Her sons knew it. No one said it. Admitting it meant admitting Alexander had ripped their foundation apart. The tuition funds disappeared. Ethan hadn't spoken in an hour. Not since he opened his student portal. Saw the bright red notice. Urgent. Tuition payment past due. Immediate payment required to remain enrolled. His stomach dropped. Tuition was always paid in advance. Never thought about it. Checked his financial records. Heart racing. Money gone. Father had pulled everything. He'd always assumed his education was guaranteed, like his father always had been. Now, not so sure. He thought back to last night. Uncle Logan is more like a father to us now. Stomach twisted. He had chosen wrong. Jacob's lifestyle crumbled. He broke the silence. "Mom," he snapped, running a hand through his hair. "Just tried to buy gas. Card declined. Again." Isabella barely reacted, staring at her phone. He scoffed, pacing. "Called the bank. Guess what? Account drained. Spun around. Is anyone going to say it? Dad is cutting us off. Ethan clenched his jaw, silent. Isabella finally let out a slow breath. Yes, she admitted. He is. Jacob laughed bitterly, hands up. Well, that's just great. What did you think was going to happen? You let Uncle Logan walk all over him, and now we're all screwed. Isabella snapped. I didn't let Logan do anything. Your father... She stopped, exhaled sharply. Your father is just retaliating. That's all. Jacob scoffed. Retaliating? Mom, wake up. Dad is burning everything down. And for the first time that day, Isabella believed it. The phone call that changed everything. House phone rang, room went still. Isabella snatched it. Alexander? She breathed. But it wasn't Alexander. It was her mother, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Tone sharp, cold. Isabella, Mrs. Fitzgerald said. Are you sitting down? Isabella frowned. What's wrong? Mrs. Fitzgerald exhaled heavily. Your father's retirement fund is gone. Isabella's mouth went dry. What? Mrs. Fitzgerald continued, voice steady. I checked this morning. The accounts, the ones Alexander managed for us, empty. Every last cent. Isabella couldn't breathe. But that's not possible. Alexander wouldn't. Oh, wouldn't he? Mrs. Fitzgerald's voice sharpened. Because I think he would. And I think he just did. Isabella's mind reeled. Her parents relied on Alexander for years. His investments, management, now all gone. Squeezed her eyes shut. Her own parents, paying for her mistake. And for the first time, regret. The realization. Isabella barely remembered hanging up. Everything a blur. Mother's voice. We're broke. Son's accusations. What did you think was going to happen? And Alexander's deafening silence. She'd thought, naively, he'd be angry. Yell, argue. He hadn't. He'd simply removed himself. And destroyed everything. He let them make their choice. Then he showed them the cost. Gripping her phone like a lifeline, Isabella finally understood. Alexander wasn't coming back. Not saving them. Not fixing it. And for the first time, she realized she'd never known him. She'd known the Alexander who did everything. The Alexander who loved unconditionally. The Alexander who never fought back. But the real Alexander? He was watching them crumble. And not lifting a finger. The house of cards collapsed completely. That night, Isabella lay awake, staring. How quickly it all fell apart. A single night. Yesterday, everything. Today, nothing. And worst, no one to blame but herself. Isabella had never known fear like this, not as a broke college student, not as a young mother with crying twins, not even when she realized she no longer loved her husband. No, this fear was different. This time, she'd lost everything. And worse, didn't know how to fix it. House in chaos, sons panicking, mother calling non-stop, Logan silent. And the only person who could fix it, the man she betrayed, wasn't answering. She tried one more time. Phone rang and rang. Voicemail. You've reached Alexander Kane. I'm unavailable. Leave a message. Isabella clenched her jaw, fighting the burning throat. He was ignoring her. Texted. No response. Emailed. Nothing. Desperation. House phone. Surely he wouldn't ignore a call from home. But he did. And that's when she knew. This wasn't a game. Alexander wasn't coming back. The sons begged. Ethan and Jacob never worried about money. Always there. Until now. Until their father, dismissed, replaced, mocked, took it all. I don't understand, Ethan muttered, pacing. He can't just cut us off. Can he? Jacob scoffed. Yeah, genius. He just did. Ethan ran a hand through his hair. Okay, but, Mom, he won't let us go homeless, right? He won't just abandon us. Isabella swallowed hard. Wanted to say no, Alexander would come back. Words wouldn't come. Wasn't sure anymore. Jacob grabbed his phone. Screw this. I'm calling him myself. Dialed. Voicemail. Ethan tried. Voicemail. Then they tried begging. Dad, come on. We were just upset. Didn't mean it. You're still our father, okay? Just call us back. Dad, Please. We're sorry. Dad, we need you. But Alexander never answered. The silence hurt more than anything he could have said. Isabella's last attempt. Knew what she had to do. See him. Force him to listen. Forgive. Got in her car. Alexander bought it. Drove to his office. Receptionist wouldn't let her through. I'm sorry, Mrs. Kane. Voice carefully neutral. Mr. Kane has given explicit instructions not to see you. Isabella's stomach dropped. Not to see her? His own wife? Forced a smile. A mistake. You misunderstood. We're married. He'll see me. Receptionist hesitated. Quiet sympathy. Handed Isabella an envelope. Trembling fingers, heart hammering. Ripped it open. Single document. Divorce petition. Filed, signed, ready, note attached. 5 simple words. There's nothing left to fix. Isabella couldn't breathe. She had lost. And Alexander? Alexander had already moved on. The mother's warning. That night, Isabella got home. Her mother was waiting. Mrs. Fitzgerald sat in the living room, hands clasped, watching Isabella stumble in, shell-shocked. She already knew. Isabella saw it in her eyes. Disappointment, resignation, judgment. I told you to be careful, Mrs. Fitzgerald said, voice calm but sharp. Isabella laughed bitterly. Careful? Careful of what, Mother? Mrs. Fitzgerald exhaled, shaking her head. About underestimating a man like Alexander. Isabella clenched her fists. You told me. I told you, Mrs. Fitzgerald interrupted smoothly, that men adjust. I told you your father adjusted. That doesn't mean Alexander would. Gave Isabella a long, cold look. I told you what you needed to do to keep him. And instead, you let your pride ruin everything. Isabella gritted her teeth. I just wanted my freedom. Mrs. Fitzgerald nodded. And now you have it. Tell me, how does it feel? Isabella said nothing. The answer? It felt like hell. Logan broke. Midnight, Logan finally cracked. Business gone. Finances ruined. Best friend destroyed him. And for the first time, he realized why. Because he deserved it. Alexander trusted him, built him. He betrayed him. But he wouldn't accept this. Did the one thing left. Drove to Alexander's house, stormed up, pounded on the door. Alexander, he shouted. Come out and face me. Silence. Slowly, door opened. Alexander stood there, calm, unbothered, cold. Logan's rage faltered. The man in front of him wasn't angry, screaming, out for revenge. He'd already won. And Logan? Finished. Alexander tilted his head slightly. What exactly do you want, Logan? Voice calm. Logan swallowed. You ruined me. Alexander nodded. Yes. Logan's hands clenched. But you had no right. Alexander stepped forward, dangerous. Oh, I had every right, he murmured. And Logan, for the first time, felt fear. Alexander wasn't just getting even. He was making sure Logan never got up again. The final begging. Isabella called one last time that night. One last attempt. Plea. Alexander, please. We were wrong. I was wrong. Just talk to me. Just give me one more chance. But no response. And this time, never would be. Because Alexander was already gone. Not looking back. I watched the phone vibrate on the table. Isabella again. Didn't answer. Not because I didn't hear it or was busy. Because she no longer deserved an answer. Let it ring until it stopped. Minute later, another call. Ethan. Then Jacob. Then Isabella's mother. All of them. One after another. Let them all go to voicemail. Because for the first time in 19 years, I didn't owe them anything. Not my time, patience, presence. Certainly not forgiveness. The confrontation they didn't see coming happened. Knew it wouldn't end there. Knew Isabella. When she showed up at my office next morning, wasn't surprised. Stormed past receptionist, slammed door, leaned back in my chair, watching. Eyes red, hands shaking. Desperate now. Good. She deserved to be. Alexander, she started, voice raw. Please. I didn't say anything. just watched, letting silence do the work. Took a breath, swallowed hard. I know what I did was wrong. I know I hurt you. Tilted my head slightly. Which part, Isabella? The lying, betrayal, planning? The fact you had no intention of stopping until I caught you? She flinched. Truth, wasn't it? Not sorry she did it. Sorry I found out. Took another step. Alexander, please, she whispered. I love you. Let out a slow, quiet breath. Stood, walked around desk, stopped right in front. Said the words to finally end this. No, you don't, Isabella. Her breath caught. Lips trembled. Didn't stop. You never did. Not in the way that mattered. Eyes shone with tears. That's not true. Cut her off. You love what I did for you. What I provided. The security, lifestyle, illusion. But me? The man, the husband? Haven't loved me for years, Isabella. Maybe you never did. Shook her head rapidly, stepping closer. That's not true. I made a mistake. Smiled. That small, cold, knowing smile. Finally made her stop. You didn't make a mistake, Isabella, I said softly. You made a choice, and now you have to live with it. The sons who chose the wrong side confronted me. Got home that evening, sons waiting. Ethan and Jacob in living room, arms crossed, faces grim. Shut door, leaned against it. Silence. Finally, Ethan spoke. Dad, come on. Voice tight. Isn't this a little extreme? Didn't respond. He sighed. I mean, okay, we get it. Mom screwed up. But don't you think ruining us is a little much? Raised an eyebrow. Ruining you? Repeated. Voice flat. Jacob scoffed, shaking head. Dad, we have nothing left. No money, no security, no future. Let that sit. Pushed off door, walked up. Said the words to finally make them understand. Welcome to the life you thought I didn't matter in. Ethan's mouth snapped shut. Jacob swallowed. Tilted my head. You thought I was just there, existing, presence optional, just a provider, a bank account, and when you thought you had a replacement, quiet chuckle, you dismissed me like I was nothing. Didn't speak. Knew I was right. And now they wanted me to fix it. Wanted my money, security, presence. But they'd already chosen. And so had I. Logan's last attempt. Should have expected it. That final, desperate move. That night, packing last things, Logan showed up, banged on door, opened it, unsurprised. Stood there, looking like a man who'd lost everything. Because he had. Alexander, voice rough, we need to talk. Didn't move, invite him in, just looked. Exhaled sharply, rubbing hand over face. I screwed up, he muttered. I know that, but you destroyed me, man. Ruined my business, reputation, entire DM life. Let him talk. Spill excuses, regrets, pathetic attempts to shift blame. Finally I spoke. Good. Logan blinked. What? Stepped closer, lowered voice. Good. I want you to know what it feels like to lose everything. To be betrayed by someone you trusted. To have people you cared about turn their backs on you. Swallowed hard. Alexander, I didn't mean... Cut him off. You did. And that's why I don't care. Face paled. For the first time, understood. Nothing to fix. No forgiveness. No second chance. Silence stretched. Finally, shut door. Locked it. Logan was already dead to me. The goodbye that wasn't really a goodbye happened next morning. Packed bags. Everything I needed. Wealth, power, freedom. Walked through house one last time. Fingers trailing over furniture, walls. Pieces of a life never truly mine. Without looking back, walked out, leaving them behind for good. Best part? Didn't feel sad. Didn't feel regret. Felt free. Finally, completely free. Stepped into hotel lobby, feeling lighter than in years. Receptionist, polite smile. Welcome, Mr. Kane. Your suite is ready. Thank you. Handing over my card. The one Isabella couldn't touch. Processing check-in, glanced at phone. 67 missed calls. Slow breath, shaking head. Still begging, scrambling. trying to fix what couldn't be. Too late. For the first time in 19 years, wasn't theirs to manipulate. I was done. And them, exactly where they deserved to be. The fallout began. Next morning, desperation peaked. Ignored calls all night. Messages kept coming. Isabella. Alexander, please, I'm begging you, just talk to me. Ethan. Dad, come on, let's just meet and figure this out. Jacob. We screwed up. We know that. But we're still your family. Mrs. Fitzgerald, Isabella's mother. Alexander, enough of this. You've made your point. That one almost made me laugh. Made my point. No. Wasn't done making my point. Leaned back, sipping coffee, watching everything unravel from a distance. Isabella faced reality. Must have finally realized how deep when she went to bank again. Not just trying to access frozen accounts, trying to save herself. Wanted a loan. Desperate last-minute attempt to keep up illusion. Should have known. Loan officer looked at records. Woman with no financial stability, no job, no steady income, nothing of her own. Comfortable too long, relying on my money, name, influence. Now, none of it. Bank denied loan. Walked out, stunned, broken. For the first time, truly nothing. Ethan and Jacob learned the hard way. Ethan tried usual confidence, called college, demanding tuition extension, argued, negotiated, tried leveraging my name. My name didn't belong to him anymore. Financial aid office, uninterested in excuses. 7-day deadline, pay or out. Jacob, meanwhile, own wake-up call. Went to get car serviced. Payments hadn't gone through. Finally hit him. Didn't own car. I did. Now, repo company on its way. Imagined look on his face. Spent years thinking I was just a wallet. Now, knew what living without it was like. Logan's collapse deepened. Drowning. Years writing my connections, influence, generosity. Stole wife, family, place. Now nothing. Moment I cut him off, investors scattered. Business already corpse. Real kicker. Lawsuits rolling in. Clients he screwed over, overcharged, misled, trusted because I vouched. Coming for him now. Without my protection, finished. Imagined him at desk, staring at legal notices, realizing man he thought he replaced destroyed him. Good. Let him rot. The moment they broke. By third day, calls slowed. Messages turned from anger to pleading. Not demanding, not telling me to be reasonable, begging. Knew I'd won. Broken them. Sat in hotel suite, scrolling messages, feeling something not felt in years. Relief. Free. First time since marrying Isabella. Since being manipulated into perfect husband, provider. Wasn't someone's safety net, backup plan, wallet. Just me. Liked that. Final call, Friday evening. Didn't expect to answer. Something made me. Not sympathy. Regret. Curiosity. Pressed phone to ear. Silence. Isabella's voice, small, broken. Alexander? Didn't say anything. Exhaled shakily. I don't even know what to say. Took sip of drink. Then don't say anything. Pause. I need to understand. How did we end up here? I almost laughed. As if she didn't already know. Answered anyway. We ended up here the moment you thought I was replaceable. Quiet sob. Can't we fix this? She whispered. Shook head, though she couldn't see. No, Isabella. Calmly. We can't. Another silence. Final plea. Alexander, I still love you. Smiled. Slow, knowing, victorious. Finally, my answer. That's nice, I said, but I don't love you. With that, hung up. Last laugh mine. Leaned back, stretching. Outside window, city lights gleamed. Endless. Full of possibilities. Free. Them. Drowning. Not my problem anymore. Not anymore. Made my choice. Walked away. And for the first time in 19 years, I was truly, completely, unapologetically